Another week, boys, and another TWAB?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
This week in Destiny, Cross is in an NDA event. So Luke is taking over for today, and we'll see if this one makes it YouTube. But good to meet all you. Let's go ahead and read through. I know last week's TWAB was dramatic. So let's see if Bungie's touching on some of that today. Before we get started with our weekly round of news for Destiny 2, we'd like to take a moment to touch on feedback and conversation around the portal and its rewards. So portal and progression updates, we're just getting right into it. I like that. We initially outlined some goals on August 7th, dedicated to improving progression and increasing Crucible and Fireteam Ops rewards, and addressing feedback around raid rewards. Last week, while we covered a handful of improvements to scoring and portal rewards, we also announced plans to tune some rewards down in solo and pinnacle ops. Based on your feedback, we've revisited our approach to balancing progression, as we believe our previous approach was too conservative, and these nerfs would work against our goals of improving progression. To be clear, we believe these changes were the wrong call, right? All right, so what are we looking at? We want all activities in the portal, solo, or fireteam based to feel rewarding. We want our activities to contribute understandable and meaningful progress to your climb and power. As such, the following changes are being made immediately. Like, these are live now? Planned reductions to power earned for a given grade within solo ops have been reverted. Planned reductions of engrams earned in Encore, Starcross, and Whisper have been reverted. The plans changed for prime engrams to require decryption of the tower have been reverted. Oh, okay. So these aren't things in-game, but the stuff that they're going to change is not happening. All right. Wait, these aren't live now, right? I don't think they went live with these. No, these are just some of the stuff that they talked about in the TWAB last week. All right, that's good. Yeah, solo ops would be in the big one. But the question is are we going to get any buffs? All right, buffs, Fireteam Ops. When it comes to Fireteam Ops, we know that we have work to do. Here's a list of buffs we're planning on and some new changes that we're adding in response to your feedback. So an update 9.0.0.8, this is already live. Increased match made, Fireteam Ops limits across the board. So Expert 25%, Master 50%, and Grandmaster 75%. All right, so time limits, that's going to be good. I know that was a pain point for some stuff. Ash and Iron, increase the number of drops for Liminality, Inverted Spire, and Onslaught Widow's Court. Activity timers have been rebalanced for Solo, Pinnacle, and Fireteam Ops. Fireteam Ops have a greater value for speed versus killing all enemies. And there's new here, increase the number of drops for many more activities in Fireteam Ops. Our team is working on finalizing which specific activities we can buff up. We will share more details after we finish validating this change. New, removing unpopular mods like Grappler from Fireteam Ops matchmaking pool. This will still be selectable when customizing. All right, cool. Yeah, I kind of feel the Grappler, at least. Oh, what's up, Bungie? Thanks for stopping by. These are good changes. These are good changes. Yeah, Cross is out again, guys. NDA stuff. He'll be back. All right, yeah, I do like the Grappler being removed from the matchmaking pool. It was just, you'd want to run your build, and sometimes Grappler would get in the way, you know? So having that be a mod that you can just toggle on when you want, I'm cool with that. Buffs to the rewards are good for sure. I want to hear more on that, though. All right, buffs to portal rewards. The following planned changes are focused on increasing rewards or improving rewards quality. Chance of prime engram drops per completion reward. Activities with more base completion rewards, such as Liminality and Inverted Spire, will provide more chances for prime engrams to drop. Okay, nice, nice. And new, we are working on creating more consistent portal reward experience for the upper power climb. As an Ash and Iron, this power will be 500 to 550. Ooh, we got to hear more about this. For those of you who haven't reached the 400 to 450 grind, myself included, I've watched it. We may be getting some improvements there. Even more buffs. Oh, man. All right, let's see what they got here. In last week's TWID, we provided a ton of information about various changes and data that drove them. Hidden within were several buffs, small and large, which we wanted to scoop out of that doc to more clearly highlight. So the Desert Perpetual Raid, weekly challenges added, improved gear tier drops, gear attunement added. Oh, okay, so we're going to be able to attune, because you can select rewards after, but now we're going to be able to select rewards going into the Desert Perpetual Raid. Am I understanding that right? Portal. The time bonus earned will grant 5% minimum score if you make the timer. Your account highest power will be used for reward score rather than equipped power. That's good. You will no longer need to wear your highest power gear while playing to get the highest score possible. Yeah, so for those who don't know, this is essentially whatever's on your character. Pretty sure it's on your character. Is it on your character, or is it your account as a whole? Because if it's your account like across the board, like on a different character, that's also really nice. Account-wide power? All right, good. Good. Yeah, I like that. Conquests are now replayable. W. Another W. In the long run, we're still going to be cautious about singular ops category activity becoming the go-to for power leveling. We want Destiny to be a game where you want to hop in with friends to level, rather than declining an invite to spend time alone in a solo activity for the sake of progression. In this case, we understand that alternate experiences need to be brought up a bit more to help things feel good, rather than pushing other options down in the short term. We don't want players who generally want to play solo or pinnacle ops feel like they're getting caught by a stray nerf. Our current approach is to bring options up and make sure they feel good before we look at the problem children. Our hope is to continue to iterate and improve the progression through the power band with these increases to Fireteam Ops and the portal, as well as the combined with the improvements to Crucible we have made and the additional improvements to raid rewards coming in 9.1.0 as well. Now, onto your regularly scheduled TWID. All right. So that's all. So this whole first section here is just responding to the last TWID and all the feedback there. What are you guys' thoughts? What are we thinking? Okay, not great. I think we need to hear a little bit more about some of these changes. Like, I want to know what activities are going to be getting the buffs in Fireteam Ops. Increased drops for Liminality, Inverted Spire, and Widow's Court. That sounds good. Like, those activities, I can't tell you how annoying it is to just hop into Liminality and it to take 30-40 minutes, depending what team you got, and it just be, and almost get nothing for it. I think those are good changes. They always seem vague. Some of these decisions, I think they're still cooking up. Like, there's buffs to portal power progression in the last rank. We'll see how that goes. But for those of you who have waited, 500 to 550 may be a lot better. It may be a lot better grind. So we'll see what the tier 5 situation looks like once Ashen Iron hits in a couple weeks. Let's get to the main part of today's TWID, the new stuff. This week in Destiny, we're bringing back Heavy Metal with the new event pass and new rewards. Make sure you get your Drake tanks polished and Fallen Brigs prepped for combat. We also have more info on our goals for different class fantasies and some previews on the newest updates on weapon and armor exotic changes. Heavy Metal returns next week. Class identity, defining Warlocks, Titans, and Hunters. Oh, we're going to look at all classes today. Ooh, nice. Congrats on Destiny Rising's release, highlighting the newest art drop for Edge of Fate, PAX West Community Meetup, and tune into a creator lore panel. Ooh. All right, Heavy Metal. The limited 3v3 PvP mode is back. Hop into your vehicles and work with your team to destroy your opponents. This will come with new legendary rewards, cosmetic rewards, legendary weapons, and an updated event home. Guardians who compete get the opportunity to unlock several rewards. A heavier duty emblem for achieving rank 5, a new sword holofoil for hitting rank 10. Oh, is that the sword that we thought was going to be in Arms Week? Is that the sword we're getting? Please tell me that's what we're talking about here. A kinetic shotgun holofoil for hitting rank 15. And if you didn't earn it last time, you can get the Griffon Exotic Sparrow for achieving rank 14 throughout the duration of the event. All right, there's your Sparrow, guys. It shoots bullets. It's pretty nice. I don't know if this is getting like over skimmer for a lot of people. Still see a lot of people rocking the skimmer, but yeah, you can rock this if you want. What sword? The sword that they showed off in the Arms Week key art. Like, it was in the key art for Arms Week, or at least I'm pretty sure, like when it showed up in game, but it didn't drop in Arms Week. So I hope it's that sword, because it looks pretty good. Looks pretty nice. The game mode will last for 7 days, starting on September 2nd and ending on September 9th. So make sure you play it. Make sure you will play, as it will no longer be possible to claim these items after the event ends. Twitch drops will be available through the entirety of Heavy Metal. Watch a particular streamer on Twitch for 1 hour between 10 a.m. Pacific, September 2nd, and 10 a.m. Pacific on September 9th to receive the Mad Dog emblem. So just tune in, guys. You'll be able to watch, get this emblem. All right, class identity and fantasy in Destiny. When you boot up Destiny 2 for the first time, your Guardian class is the first choice you ever make as a Lightbearer. Do you want to be the floaty one holding the fireball, the slender one with the cape and blade, or the big one with the single monstrous shoulder piece? Each Guardian class has a unique fantasy that players assume as they play. When we talk about fantasy at Bungie, we often split the term into emotional fantasy and mechanical fantasy. To oversimplify, emotional fantasy is how you feel when you play, and mechanical fantasy is what you do when you play. When it comes to mechanical fantasy or the gameplay role, what does the classes play in combat? Destiny's classes don't have the hard lines that some other RPGs have. This is particularly due to the demands of a fast-paced action game, but also because Guardians are tiny gods with the power to cross lines and break rules. We don't have a dedicated healer class or DPS class. Yes, we deliberately give certain classes more access to some keywords to reinforce their class identity, but rarely do we give them exclusive access to a keyword. After all, if all the classes have equal access to everything, what's the point of having classes to begin with? Today we're going to dive deeper into class talk, class identity, and talk about our upcoming plans for each class. Some of these changes will come in release during the month of September, others in October, and others still in Destiny 2 Update 9.5 alongside the Renegades release and beyond. So without further ado, let's dive in. All right. We're about to get some juicy info. Let's see what the class identities are. So for Warlock, Warlocks weaponize the mysteries of the universe to sustain themselves and devastate their foes. The Warlock is the arcane spellcaster of the group. What they lack in strength and speed, they make up for in knowledge and sorcery. They're the best to perform complex magical rituals that persist in the world. Warlock's universal class abilities give access to health recovery and ally empowerment. So Warlock traits: battlefield control, arcane abilities, ally empowerment. Moving forward, we plan to do more to reinforce the Warlock identity. In the short term, we're working to enable deeper build crafting and finding ways to give Warlocks more ability uptime. The Empowering Rift change coming to Ash and Iron update is part of this. Longer term, we'd like to give Warlocks more mobile healing options and a passive benefit to match the other classes. Titans do bonus uncharged melee damage. Hunters have higher base movement speed. All right, there's some clarification there, I guess. Here are the upcoming Warlock changes we're working on. General, the following Warlock turrets will now count as grenades for stats and perks. Oh, Ionic Sentry, Arc Soul, Hellion, Bleak Watcher, and Child of the Old Gods. Guys, this is good. This is very good. For any of my Warlock buddy build fans out there, you know that the grenades stacking with the abilities, this is good. We'll see how broken it gets, but having stuff count for grenades and stat perks is a big W. Empowerment Rift class abilities will now generate neutral game abilities energy over time. Kills while standing in an Empowering Rift will now generate bonus ammo progress. Plus 15 for special weapons and plus 10 for heavy weapons. Oh, okay. So we're going to get more bonus ammo standing in an Empowering Rift. And that's in addition to the other neutral game abilities they mentioned in like the last TWAB. We're really going to be pushed to like actually using Empowering Rift. Titans. Disciplined and proud, Titans are capable of both aggressive assaults and stalwart defenses. The Titan is the knight of the group. What they lack in magical ability and range, they make up for in strength and sustainability. They're the tip of the spear, creating cover to establish the front line. The Titan is not a traditional melee or tank class, but they have universal access to damage mitigation and increased melee damage. So for Titan traits, aggressive assault, damage mitigation, and artillery expert. Going forward, we'd like to give some more artillery expert flavor into the Titan's kit and give them more opportunities to flex their tactician muscles. In the short term, we're working on some updates to Behemoth abilities. Longer term, we'd like to make more updates to Word of Dawn and the Sentinel subclass, among other things. Here are the upcoming Titan changes we're working on. Howl of the Storm, stasis aspect. We will now grant 2 melee charges. Change the stasis crystal spawning pattern and added 4 more crystals. And for Bastion, Void aspect will now have a faster cooldown in PvP. I'm gonna be honest, guys, you Titans are gonna have to tell me what you think about this. Good, bad? I know personally I'm L, broken, mid. Okay, so I'm hearing from the Titans that we want a little bit more. I know Cross is gonna be happy about the Warlock changes. He's been running that a lot recently. But the 2 melee charges does sound interesting. And then I guess we'll just have to see what that spawn pattern looks like for the melee. All right, moving on to our hunters. Agile and daring. Hunters are quick on their feet and quicker on the draw. The hunter is the rogue of the group. What they lack in brute force and sorcery, they make up for in precision and agility. They're battlefield provocators, slipping into the enemy's ranks, leaving traps and causing chaos. They quickly find new angles to attack, from dividing the enemy's attention to make them more vulnerable. The hunter's class abilities give access to directional speed bursts and damage avoidance. So hunter traits: attack precision, infiltration, and damage avoidance. Going forward, we'd like to give hunters more abilities to help support their fire team. In the short term, we're working on giving Gunslinger an update. Longer term, we'd like to address the feedback that Night Stalker relies too much on invisibility, among other things. Here are some of the hunter changes we're working on. So on your mark, solar aspect. Stacks of on your mark now give a weapon stat instead of weapon handling and reload. Max of 40 weapon stack at 10 stacks. Rescale stat count to a max of 10 stacks. Precision hits now give 1 stack. Precision final blows now give 2 stacks. And precision final blows at 10 stacks now cure you instead of giving radiant. Golden Gun, Deadshot, Solar Super. Now refunds ammo on Golden Gun final blows instead of on ignitions. Now extends super duration on Golden Gun final blows. Duration gain diminishes with final blows, grants less in Crucible. And Marksman Dodge for class ability. Now reloads all weapons on activation. Now picks up nearby ammo bricks on activation. So it's not just your main weapon. That's how Marksman works now, right? It's just your main weapon. But this is going to be all weapons and picking up ammo bricks. I'm not going to lie, fellas. I don't play Hunter. With some of these changes, they already look kind of hot. Kind of nice. What would you say is the biggest thing here? What do you guys like the most? The 40 plus weapons? That is kind of big. Yeah, the 40 plus weapon stack. Nerf the knives. Yeah, there's nothing. I don't think they're talking about nerfs in this, but there's been a lot of melees going around in PvP. Oh, there's a correction? Hold on. Correction in today's Twid. We incorrectly said that the Titan's Void aspect Bastion would have a faster cooldown in PvP. This is incorrect. Bastions will have a faster cooldown in PvE. Twid has been updated with the correct information. All right, PvE. All right, class identity wrap up. We love all Destiny classes equally. We're dedicated to making sure that each has a chance to shine. We don't want any of our classes to be viewed as the DPS class. All 3 classes should be capable of roughly the same damage output. That said, there will always be certain builds that are more effective than others in different contexts. We'll continue to balance subclass builds to ensure we don't have any clear win buttons and ensure that each class feels powerful. In the future, we're interested in doing more to make each class's identity more distinct, potentially through stronger passive effects for each class. However, that adds more complexity to an already complex game, and the player experience comes first. We truly appreciate the feedback you've given on the classes, and we'd like you to continue to provide that feedback whenever you have it. Well, if we're talking feedback, Bungie, I didn't read anything about self-res as part of the Warlock's identity. I don't know about you guys. That feels to me like it's a big part of the Warlock identity. I would love, even if it's after Renegades, I would love to see some self-res action. The Edge of Fate Art Blast. From the beautiful scenery of Kepler to the new enemies and armor abilities that melded together to breathe life into the Edge of Fate expansion, the awe-inspiring Destiny 2 art team worked carefully to create something magical for the newest expansion. Now the team is sharing some of the art that helped turn the Edge of Fate from concept to launch. Check out the ArcStation article to get a good look at all the art in the Edge of Fate in all its glory. All right, let's go ahead and pop this open real quick. I was seeing some stuff on Twitter. Ooh, shooting range. Shout out to adding the D1 soundtrack back to the screen. That's pretty nice. All right, guys. So if you're looking to check through concept art, all of these are linked here. We'll have it linked in the video description as well. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here. Very, very nice. All right, PAX West Cosplay Meetup. This weekend, PAX West returns to our backyard. For many here, this convention has spawned friendships, careers, and even lifelong partnerships. It's a special place, and we're excited to shine some spotlight on a community-driven Destiny community meetup, happening on Sunday, August 31st at 2 p.m. Pacific, hosted by our good friend Air Bubbles and Lily Bean. A few of us will be attending PAX as fans, but don't worry, we're bringing some sweet loot for the meetup, including a handful of the Edge of Fate collector's editions, some cooking recipes, and a couple of smaller surprises. Brush up on your lore, adorn your cosplay, and head to a community room 1. The Summit Room 437 at 2 p.m. Pacific on Sunday. If you plan on attending the event, please feel free to tag us. We'd love to share your cosplay and your stories at Destiny the Game at Destiny 2 Team. All right, PAX is happening. Create a lore panel. Today, Psalm Lab will be hosting a lore panel for the Edge of Fate running from Thursday, August 28th, 11 a.m. through 1 p.m. Pacific, and then some of the other times here. Join creators Psalms Lab, Bife, Abaddon, Moonvald, and more as they chat with Bungie's Hannah Filipski, I think I've got that right, Destiny Narrative Lead, and Nico Steven, Destiny Narrative Lead, on all things Destiny 2 lore and narrative. We'll have a chance to earn all that emblem for tuning in, along with Edge of Fate game codes and a collector's edition. Tune in to watch the VOD here. All right, and there's the all that emblem code. Very nice. Destiny Rising launch. Today marks the launch of Destiny Rising. In celebration of the launch, brought to you by NetEase on Android and iOS, we're excited to offer an exclusive emblem for Destiny 2 players. Here's how to unlock the emblem. Complete the Bear the Light in Destiny Rising. That's one of the quests in-game, pretty sure. Once you complete it, redemption code will be populated on your screen. Click the in-game button to redirect you to Bungie.net and then log into your Bungie.net account. Okay, so these are just instructions. So this is the emblem, guys, right here. Kind of giving me some Iron Banner vibes with the wolf. So if you're playing Destiny Rising, yeah, you get a new emblem. Last call to donate in support of Ronald McDonald House Charities. When families are required to travel far from home so their child can receive critical care, Ronald McDonald House Charities step in to provide comfort, stability, and support during the hardest times. For 13 years, the Bungie Foundation and our community have stood alongside RMHC, raising more than $1 million to fuel its vital mission. There's still time to make an impact in this year's campaign and to bring hope to kids and families in need. Your $25 donation unlocks the Playtastic new Tartan Tribute emblem. Wear it with pride knowing you've made a difference. This campaign ends on 8/28 at 11:59 p.m. So act now. Emblems will be distributed via email on 8/29. Thank you for your support. Nice, nice. Player support report, known issues, Tempest Strike, SMG, a couple other things here. Duality Dungeon, Arts of the Week. Ooh, that's a crazy thumbnail. Asking 100 Guardians about their favorite thing in Destiny 2. And that's it for this week's TWID. Are you planning on jumping in at the very start of heavy metal? Or maybe you want to dive deeper into the class fantasy info we just dropped and tell us what you think. We love hearing your feedback and voices, so keep the conversation going. We look forward to getting more updates from you guys in the coming weeks and appreciate all the feedback we've received so far. We're all in this together, the Destiny 2 community team. All right, everybody, that's today's TWAB. What are our thoughts, opinions? Think they're hiding Titan buffs? Potentially. They did say they're working on the Sentinel class more in depth, so we'll see what's planned there. W overall, yeah, the big takeaway from here today, guys, is that Bungie acknowledged the feedback on last week's TWAB. We're getting changes to the grind, both in the amount of rewards you receive from Fireteam ops, as well as the last 50 power levels as you're grinding through Prime Engram drops. So we'll see what that looks like as a whole. I think we just need to wait for details on that, but looks like we're going to be getting more Prime Engrams. Check the tweet. Is there another tweet? Ooh, okay, this is actually, yeah. From DMG here, we will have details on sandbox tuning. Hopefully next week, PvP will be included. All right. So for all you guys asking about PvP, next week. Next week, we'll be getting some info on that. I know some of you guys want the hand cannons nerfed now, but yeah, we'll see what that looks like.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.